Der Musitalk Musikmesse Report 2014 wird präsentiert von Olympus, smartes Mobilrecording für Musiker.
Herzlich willkommen zum Musitalk, dem Music- und Sound-Production-Podcast aus Berlin.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Messecast von der Frankfurter Musikmesse 2014. Und jetzt bin ich bei Elektron am Stand beim Jake. Hi Jake!
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Great. Well, here we are at the Elektron booth. We've got a few things to show you. Obviously, you know we recently released the analog keys. Now it will be available at your local retailers very soon. We're up to speed with shipping. And following that, we will be having the analog rhythm released very, very shortly, around end of March, beginning of April, around that time. If you've been following the videos from NAMM, you already know the basics, but I want to show you what we recently added. We now have an analog ring modulator kick drum, and this is how it sounds like. So like, so you can and then add some filter, make like a really mean kick drum. Yeah. So that's a nice sound I have. Now what I can do is I can of course, I can sequence this. So put a few steps in, as you know, it's like a step sequencer. Put some steps in. Yeah, so that's how it works. But another new feature that I would like to show is a scene feature. So now if I edit my scenes here, I could say on this scene I want to change the pitch of this synthesis.
So the scene is independent of a pattern or anything?
Exactly. Scene is like a method that you can control your audio parameters with the pads. So on this scene I have this type of tuning. Here I can maybe open the filter. And over here I can maybe really mess this up like this. So now I have three settings. So I can
switch them using the pads. Oh, great!
Exactly. While you have access to the other features, like like this.
So I could switch the sequences down here and change the scenes here.
Yeah.
And sort of really build up an arrangement doing that.
Exactly. So like, and maybe I could say, okay, on this scene, I want to add more hi-hats. Yeah, so with the scenes you can really modulate your, you can actually play with your patterns with the pads. That's what it does. But yeah, so this will be available very shortly. We're still working on the OS, a few more tweaks to be done. But yeah, you'll see it soon. But I want to show you a little secret. Come here.
Wow, 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 wow.
Now, we're releasing our new technology called Overbridge. Now with this technology, you will be able to send USB audio to your DAW from our analog machines, which are the analog 4, analog rhythm, and analog keys. So now I have a basic sequence here, a 3-track sequence, and let me check what I have on Ableton. So each track has got some effects. I will turn them off, and then so we can start from the beginning. Here we go. Okay, so when I press play on my sequencer on the analog 4 here, I can see that the 3 tracks playing are being routed into different audio tracks. So I can go to track 1 and maybe start adding effects to it. And maybe start editing the sound here.
So how many single outputs do I get with the plugin?
You have four tracks that you can send, and you also have the main outputs that you can send, so it's 6 in total. And then you could affect them individually.
So now I've got the audio in my Ableton Live. Yeah. How do I sync it together so that they run at the same speed sort of clock?
You have the USB, which can send audio as well as MIDI sync. So you just activate the MIDI sync and it's synced all together.
So we're back to MIDI sync?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if it works, it's great, you know? Yeah.
Well, as I recall from the good old days, it's a kind of a... I think that there could be some room for improvement, you know, getting all the analog stuff together with the computer.
Yeah.
I think for me it requires something better for synchronization because MIDI clock is terrible. MIDI timecode, maybe.
Well, I would say, if you say it's terrible, then you probably use a lot of software. You don't use many hardware, or do you? I don't know. That's another debate.
No.
So now and then, you know, I have my tracks that's going individually in there. So
And does it work? Does that work for all your gear? I mean, everything that has a USB will support Overbridge?
it works for the analog devices, the analog keys, analog rhythm, and the analog 4. So this is like a first time in history where an analog device with its own sequencer and its own effect processor gets a direct connection over USB into your DAW.
Cool.
And
Available now?
No, it's not available now. You wish it was. We're planning to release this as a free update, as with all our updates. Recently we released a plus drive and a polyphonic update for the analog 4. And so now we want to release this as free for our users because we really love them dearly. And it's going to be around end of this year, around that time. We also want to introduce a VSTI plugin so that each time when you switch to another DA project in your DAW, your machines will recognize which project you're in and it will load the relevant patterns and kits. So you don't need to save your stuff on there. You just save your project, turn it off, and when you load it again, your machine will recognize it instantly. This is our plan as well.
Very good plan, because I think I love to use all the new analog gear that's coming out these days, but at the end of the day I need to integrate it some way with my computer setup, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's a missing link. Great stuff.
And that's what we're trying to incorporate to our users and to the people around the world. Show that you can have analog gear that is synced up with your DAW multi-tracked just via USB cable. And yeah, hopefully we'll do it right. Soon you will see. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.